All right, we're back with another team preview. I'm breaking down all 32 teams from a betting perspective going into the 2024-2025 NFL season. If you haven't seen any of my team previews yet, make sure to check them out on my page. And more importantly, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload the next team preview. I have a lot of good info gathered on these teams. I'm discussing season win total bets, future bets, some season-long player props or award winner bets, and just giving my opinion and outlook on teams in general. In this video, we're talking Cincinnati Bengals. I have a bet on their Week 1 game versus the Patriots. I'll talk about that at the end. Also, I have Bengals head coach Zach Taylor to win Coach of the Year at plus 3,000 odds. I think it's worth a bet at that price. Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo is priced at plus 3,000. I think Zach Taylor has a much better shot at winning than he does. I'm not expecting to win many bets at plus 3,000 odds, but the price seems right in this spot. But the best way to define the Bengals last season for the 2023 season is Joe Burrow's injuries. Even before he took the field in Week 1, he was hobbled with that calf injury, and the first month of the season, Burrow struggled. The Bengals offense only scored a total of 49 points in the first 4 games, which got them off to a 1-3 start. Burrow ranked dead last in yards per attempt and EPA plus completion percentage over expectation. Burrow did bounce back after that slow start, looked like his old self. There was even brief MVP talks before he was knocked out of the game versus Baltimore with that wrist injury that ultimately ended his season. Since he went on to finish with a 9-8 record with backup quarterback Jake Browning. This offseason so far, looks like it's the first one in which Joe Burrow is fully healthy. Since he's entered the league, he's always had an offseason or preseason that was interrupted by some type of injury. This season, as of now, it looks like all systems are go. And as of this recording, we've seen a drive this preseason with all the starters, and it was versus Tampa Bay. Cincy and Burrow went down and scored on a 12-play drive and looked pretty good doing it. Of course, we're talking preseason, and it's something worth mentioning. Cincy lost 5 veteran starters this offseason. Defensive tackle DJ Reader, running back Joe Mixon, left tackle Jonah Williams, wide receiver Tyler Boyd. Who else? The cornerback there, Awuzie. The players filling the voids aren't really downgrades, probably close to even as far as skill and talent, but you can't substitute for chemistry and team unity. They will have to find a replacement for wide receiver Tyler Boyd. As of now, T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson are still in limbo, I think, with contract negotiations. They weren't even practicing up until early August. But the real story, in my opinion, with this team is on the defensive side of the ball. The Bengals finished dead last in yards per play allowed, allowing 6 yards per play. There was some bad defenses last year. Denver, Washington, Arizona was bad. None of them allowed 6 yards per play. Even when you adjust for strength of opposing offenses played, Cincy still ranks dead last. They allowed the highest average depth of target through the air. They ranked 31st or second worst in explosive pass rate allowed. This was a bad defense, but it was kind of low-key bad, or it wasn't bunched together with the other bad defenses because on the surface it didn't look as bad, and that's because their red zone defense was really good. They led the league in forcing red zone turnovers with 9. They also had one of the lowest fourth down conversion rates allowed inside the red zone. Just imagine how bad this defense would have been if they didn't force 9 red zone turnovers. They allowed a lot of yards, but those yards didn't actually convert into points. 7.6 yards per pass attempt allowed, which was also worst in the NFL. I'm not sure how much they've improved in this area either. It's pretty simple. When you pay your quarterback big money, you're going to suffer somewhere on the team, and I think this is where their leak is, the pass defense. But maybe their best pass defense is their pass offense. Of course, we can't really look at any offensive numbers last year because Burrow was hurt. Even in the games he played, they were limited with play calling around what Burrow could do, or I should say more importantly, couldn't do. He couldn't drive off his back foot with the calf injury. He had no zip on the ball, no deep ball at all. There are a lot of people, some whose opinion I really respect, that are really high on this Bengals team. Some think they'll be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. So I've been looking for reasons to get behind them or find reasons why others like them. I've looked hard at some offensive props, like highest scoring team being one of them, or most yards for an offense. I suppose the Bengals have been the one team to go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs and win. We've seen this KC offense evolve the last 3 seasons out of necessity, really, but from the looks of it and the sounds of it, the Bengals are evolving as well. Head coach Zach Taylor is letting go of some of the offensive responsibilities and letting new offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher run the offense. If this works out, I feel like Taylor will benefit from, pulling all the right strings, which could help his case for Coach of the Year. And I think another playoff rematch versus the Chiefs could be enough to get him Coach of the Year. What new offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher has implemented so far has been received pretty well by players, and the difference between this version of the Bengals offense and past seasons has been praised pretty heavily by staff, players, and personnel close to the team. So naturally the question is, what type of changes will Pitcher bring, and what does an offense under his control look like? First thing is, Burrow's going to take a lot more snaps under center. This was the plan actually going into last season before Burrow suffered the calf injury in camp. The injury forced Cincinnati back to using him more out of the shotgun in an attempt to limit his movement or lessen the 3 and 5 step drops. In 2023, 97% of Burrow's dropbacks were out of the shotgun, just slightly higher than his 93% shotgun rate in 2022. This will also increase the amount of play action with him working more under center now. It will naturally bring more play action. There's also been plenty of reports this offseason on the screen game kind of like marrying up with him being more under center. Between Burrow and Browning, the Bengals targeted running backs with 86 pass attempts, the 4th most of any team in 2023. It would seem hard to increase on that 86 running back targets, but in 2022, Burrow targeted running backs 106 attempts. So I'll be looking to bet Chase Brown over catches or receiving yards. I also expect the tight end usage to increase. Mike Gesicki will be playing a key role in this offense, similar to what Dalton Kincaid is doing for the Bills and what they kind of coined the 11.5 personnel. As far as wide receivers go, with Boyd gone, there'll be a lot of options in the slot. Last season, Jamar Chase ran 51 routes from the slot for 8.6 yards per route ran. That was half a yard higher than his yards per route ran when positioned out wide. Burton was drafted to play the slot position. Andre Yoseva, the Japan-born rookie 6th-rounder, will be a new face to watch on the outside. When these guys go into the slot, he'll fill that void outside. Now, of course, during training camp and preseason, all the plans and reports sound great. New offense, new play caller, all these passing options. But how can we take advantage of this with betting? With Burrow now healthy and expectations, this Bengals team is high. They're listed at 10.5 wins. Offensively, we can assume the passing game will be among the best in the league. I do think the running game will be better, even though their run game numbers have dipped in effectiveness the last 2 seasons. But this offensive line is pretty sturdy, super durable. Nobody on the offensive line missed a game last season. The unit played the highest percentage of their team's snaps of any offensive line combination in the league. And you better have a solid offensive line when you have a high-paid quarterback like Joe Burrow. It's probably safe to assume the offense will be atop the league, but again, it's the defense that's a concern here, especially the pass defense. But part of me thinks since he won 9 games last year without Burrow for most of the year, And they finished last season having played the toughest overall strength of schedule. In fact, it was the 9th toughest schedule in the history of the DVOA metric. So it wasn't just the toughest strength of schedule of any team last year, it was historically tough. This season, based on my ratings, they'll face the 7th easiest schedule, which would be the single biggest flip of strength of schedule change of any team, going from historically tough to a bottom 8 easiest. I have them favored in 14 games. They play each of the 7 worst teams in my power ratings. Outside of the division games, they'll play New England, Carolina, and Tennessee, who could possibly end up being the 3 worst teams. They do have one tough stretch in their schedule. After their late season Week 12 bye, they go on the road for Monday Night Football game in Dallas, then a short week road game in Tennessee, followed by another short week home game on Thursday Night Football versus Cleveland. That's 3 games in 10 days. I couldn't find any other time where a team plays back-to-back road games on short rest and then also plays another short week on Thursday Night Football to conclude 3 games in 10 days. Or actually, it might be 11 days. I might have counted wrong there. I think it's 11. Either way, 3 games in 10 or 11 days is pretty much unheard of. Bottom line, this upcoming season will be critical in seeing whether the Bengals can overcome their defensive deficiencies and capitalize on this new offensive scheme, transitioning to new OC and play caller Dan Pitcher. I think these Burrow injuries, though, are starting to linger, and wonder if he can make it through a season without missing significant time. Even though reports say he looks great, feels great, since he has shown a pattern of being slow out the gate. And now with a new offense in place, I don't think they'll be hitting on all cylinders. I don't have many Week 1 bets locked in so far, but one I do have is under 43 points in the Bengals versus Patriots Week 1 game. I bet this, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. I know the lines moved a little bit. We know the Patriots defense will be their strong point, and I expect both offenses to struggle Week 1. As bad as the Bengals defense is, the Patriots offense might be worse. I think it'll be like a field goal kicking contest. Bengals kicker Evan McPherson is the league's new Justin Tucker. Guy's pretty much automatic, and his only misses last year were from 50-plus yards. I really think the range of outcomes for Cincy is as wide as any team. I could see them make the Super Bowl, but could also see them finish last in their division again. They're obviously so dependent on Burrow, and he's starting to become a banged-up quarterback. If you are interested in taking sports betting to the next level, consider joining the Betting Network Discord. It's a sports betting educational Discord with members who take sports betting seriously. We all share information with the common goal of improving our sports betting IQ. I do a lot of weekly game breakdowns, market analysis, along with sharing a weekly power packet that I have my personal power ratings for each team and the advanced metrics I use to create my ratings. You can copy them, make adjustments how you see fit in order to make your own point spreads for each game each week. The invite link to join the Discord is in the description below this video. If you watch to the end, I appreciate it. Hope to see some of you in the Discord this NFL season. Any questions, comment below. I'm good about responding. Until next time, good luck.